Your phone keeps buzzing.
Can you check it for me? I'm putting dishes away.
You want me to check your phone for you?
Yeah, my passcode is 3457. Who is it?
It's just Evan. He wants to see if you want to hang out this weekend.
Tell him I'm busy. I'm going to be hanging out with you.
Wait, what?
Welcome to The Wall. In today's video, we'll see how a woman on the wall tells us what, according to her, men look for after going on several dates. We'll also analyze another woman who claims to have been on more than 50 dates in 2024 and says that, based on her experience, the worst ones were coffee dates. We want you to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. We're aiming for 150,000 subscribers before March, and with your support, we can make it happen. Don't forget to leave us your comments and turn on notifications so you don't miss any videos. Now, let's get started.
If you have sexual tension with a guy, like an established flirtation, at that point, you have done your job. If he then puts you in a position where something is only going to happen between you two if you make a move, meaning if you approach him first when you're out, if you text him, if you go above and beyond to express more your interest. If he puts you in that position, don't do anything. Why would I be the one to have to make a move? And then by not doing anything, you can give him a real opportunity. The tension's already there. The vibes are alive. That's on him.
I agree with what she says because I always support the idea that a man should be a man. Giving the first kiss is a man's job, but only if you notice there's sexual tension and that she's waiting for that move. You can sense this when the date has flowed well, when there's chemistry, and when there are clear signs of interest. Genuine interest is non-negotiable. The greater a woman's interest in you, the less effort you'll have to make. That's why I always say, lead the date. Be the one who asks the questions, chooses the place, picks her up, guides the conversation, and takes her to an environment where you feel comfortable and can take the lead in the interaction. The man should set the pace of the encounter.
This is what men need from a woman, or what they want from a woman. Don't argue with me, argue with your mother. I'm just here to tell you what I've seen men want from women. You know, if you don't want to give in to what men want, then that's your prerogative. If you're a man and thinks I don't know what I'm talking about, I promise you I do, but whatever, go argue with your mother. People are driven by identity and desire. So in terms of physical attractiveness, you either satiate a man's identity, how he presents himself in the world, how he wants the world to see them, or his desire, what he wants behind closed doors, what he's personally attracted to, what he's personally into. Now, if you check both of those boxes, then that's good. That's a very, very good sign for the longevity of your relationship with this man. Also, quick side note, men go for women that they can afford. Period, end of story. That is how they operate. That is how their brain works. They go for women that they can afford, and if they cannot afford you, they will resent you. I've made videos before talking about how men who have money don't call women gold diggers. Gold digger was a word that was invented by broke men because they resented a woman that they couldn't afford. They will not waste their time with a woman that they feel like they cannot afford, and who has a lot of different suitors who could give them a better lifestyle, and give their children a better life and lifestyle than they could. They're not going to waste their time. And if you give a guy like that a chance, he's not going to respect you. Because he knows that if he were a woman in your position, he would be going after the bigger fishes. Okay? So he thinks there's something wrong with you and your judgment if you're going after him when you could be doing better. It's just the way it works. Men date in a tax bracket. Men date, that is how they set their standards. And they will condemn women up and down for living by that too. But I'm telling you, that's the way the world spins. That's the way it works. Okay, this is number 2. Men do not feel comfortable around women. Okay, they desire women, they project all these fantasies onto women, but they don't feel comfortable around them. I think that we women don't give ourselves enough credit for how intimidated and bewildered men are by us, but that is the way it is. So if a man can feel comfortable around you, if he just feels at ease, it's not something that can be said, it's not something that can be articulated. But if a man just feels at ease when he's with you, if you're an easy person to talk to and get along with, that is going to take you so far. There are people who are married to women who do not feel comfortable with around them.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Gold digger is a term invented by men who can't afford a woman? Seriously? You hear all kinds of things in this life. If that term exists, it's because wealthy men saw how many women would sell themselves just for a ride in their car. Following that logic, then dusty is a word invented by women who want to appear to have a lifestyle their wallets can't support. This kind of thinking is what leads beautiful women to end up lonelier than the sun at noon. This woman is already 30. She's on the wall, and she's still waiting for a millionaire who never shows up. And realistically, I doubt he ever will. The only thing she said that actually makes sense is that a man feels more comfortable with a woman he gets along with. Beyond that, nothing else was worth it. But let's continue.
If society didn't judge men so harshly based on how attractive of a woman that they could get, I think that would supersede or would play more of a role in a man's decision-making when it comes to choosing a partner than attractiveness would, how comfortable he is around a woman. But of course, since we live in the society we live in, where we're all targeted against each other based on how attractive a woman you are or how attractive a woman that you can get, attractiveness is going to be at the height of a man's decision-making. And this is number 3. You have to be detached. You have to be detached. There's something about the responsibility or the emotional responsibility that men detest. Like, it's just, if you hold an obligation to a man to love you or to be there for you, or he has the sense that you're not going to be okay without him there, or that you depend on him, or that you love him more than he loves you, or you need him more than he needs you, or that you're not going to be okay on yourself, or that you don't like yourself or love yourself and you need his validation, he'll play games with you, he'll string you along, he'll use you for what he needs to use you for, but he's not going to respect you as a person. He's certainly not going to choose you as a partner. And if he does choose you as a partner, it's not going to be an equal partnership. It's going to be more of him knowing he has the power, the advantage and the power dynamic of your relationship, and wielding that against you any chance that he gets. You have to be cool. You got to keep it pushing. If you don't want me anymore, cool, no problem. I don't need closure. I'm never going to go to a man and be like, I need closure. Nope. I'll never talk to you again in my life. I do not give a fuck, because I know that this is how it works. No. I will keep it pushing. I don't go through phones, and y'all have come after me about that before too. I'm not going to be sus of your female friends. I'm not going to go through your phone. If I sense the vibes are off, then I'm out, and it's not a conversation, it's not closure. Like, call it what you will. You have to understand that you have evolved through thousands and thousands of years to know when something is up, and you have been taught that unless you can justify every intuition you have with logic, then it's not a reasonable decision to act on that intuition alone. But it is. And I will act on that intuition alone. If I think you're cheating on me, then that's all I need to know. I'm not going to go through your phone. I'm not going to be crazy. I don't need closure. Those are things that men do not respect. Now, you do you. You do whatever you want to do. I'm just letting you know. Through doing this shit, I'm telling you it's the gospel truth.
Stop it. Get some help.
The first thing this woman, and many others, should learn is how men perceive value. She thinks that being indifferent and selfish makes her valuable because that's exactly how she sees men. She's projecting. Men value doing. Since childhood, society teaches us that if we don't do anything, we aren't worth anything. That's why a man respects and loves a woman who proves her worth through acts of service, who knows how to treat him, respect him, and care for him. For women like this, who only think about their own convenience, this clashes with their entire being. Because modern feminism only teaches them to receive, never to give. That's why everything that comes out of her mouth is a complaint about men, but you'll never hear her say she's found love. Because being this selfish, she never will.
I went on 50-ish first dates last year, and out of those dates, about 3 or 4 of them were coffee dates. They were far and away some of the worst dates I went on out of the 50. And objectively, the dates were fine. We had a nice conversation, maybe we sat outside and had some coffee, but I walked away feeling like I literally don't care if I see this person again or not, which is not really the goal of a first date. I want to have some sort of opinion when I leave. Either I want to see them again and ask them about this specific thing that we talked about, or I really don't want to see them again because of these 3 things were not compatible. But to have literally no opinion on someone after spending an hour, hour and a half with them at coffee, to me just says that you didn't really get into anything significant in terms of conversation. And the reason I think that happens is because coffee dates feel like business meetings, especially coming from the industry that I am in, which is entertainment. Coffee meetings are super common. And so it's really hard to not think of a coffee date as literally just a business meeting. And so any of the things that are important on a date, like asking personal questions or building rapport or finding out if there's a connection, it's even harder to do than it might already be because it doesn't even feel like the right setting for that. So if you like coffee dates, more power to you, but I was amazed that all the dates I went on, the ones where I really had no emotion afterwards at all, positive or negative, were coffee dates. And if you found your husband from a coffee date, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I do think if you're struggling to find connection on first dates, I would stay away from coffee dates and try something a little more fun or interesting or just a change in environment. Curious to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments.
Damn! In short, out of those 50 dates you had, only 4 were coffee dates, and those were the only ones where no one wasted their time or money. Because the other 46, dinners with wine at fancy restaurants, led to nothing, except a free meal and a few Instagram pictures where, as always, everything shows up except the sponsor. This only confirms that coffee dates are the way to go. You went out with 50 men, 46 took you to expensive dinners, and the result was the same as with the ones who only invited you for coffee. That means the ones who opted for a coffee date were the real geniuses because they didn't have to spend money on a woman who's just looking for free meals. Or am I wrong, brothers?
If you ever wanted to know what goes through a guy's mind right before a date, well, you're about to find out. Because in this generation, I have no clue what I'm supposed to do, right? Let me explain. I've been single for a while. I have been single for a while. And I might have fell out the game. And I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do. I'm going on a date. I think we might go to an arcade. I should know this, right? Let's say we're going to arcade. I should probably tell her that. We're going to go to arcade. But listen, I don't know what I'm allowed to say, what I'm allowed to not say. What if I fall in love on the date? I heard a thing about love bombing, and you're not allowed to do that. But, like, it sounded pretty good to me. I think love bombing, it sounds like a pretty good deal. I'm not going to lie. Because somebody thinks I'm great as soon as they meet me. What other way is there to do that? I don't think there's other options. There's no alternatives there. And I was thinking, I won't even lie, I was thinking about some of the players in the game, and I'm a vet, right? Like, I've been playing the game. The stats are average. I'm not a game winner player, but I'm on the court, right? I'm one of those players that comes in. We're getting off track. Listen, am I allowed to tell this lady I love her? And am I allowed to tell her I hate her? What if I hate her? What if I don't like her? What if I'm like, hey, I don't like you like that. Please don't touch me. Am I allowed to do that? Am I allowed to, like, take away consent? Is there implied consent to touch on a date? Am I allowed to, like hold her hand? Or, like, should I, like, am I supposed to walk past her and, like bump, like graze her to see how she reacts to the, or maybe I just go hands off the whole, and then how many dates do you do that for? Am I supposed to just go hands off for, like, 5 dates? Or do I let the girl make the first move? I ain't done this in a while, and I don't know what's going on. I'm just trying to tell you, I think she's pretty, right? It's like I met her on a dating app, which, red flag, but I was also on there, so that's double red flag, which is a double negative, and that makes a positive. So we're going in this good. It's just like, I think I'm going to love bomb her. I think I'm just going to tell her how I feel. If I fall in love with her, I'll tell her. And if y'all don't see another video from me in 2 hours, just know it either went really bad or went really good. I'll let you interpret that. I gotta go. All right, I'm gonna go.
My uncle was a classic player, a textbook Chad. He always told me, a man who looks too hungry doesn't eat. That's why I applaud this man for making the effort. For men who are dating, I always say, choose a place where you feel comfortable so you won't be nervous. The idea is to talk and get to know the other person in a relaxed way. Ask questions and let her answers guide the conversation. Dress well. Wear clothes that fit you, a good cologne, and a watch. These are basic details, but they make a difference. Pay for the first date, but don't overspend. A coffee or a simple activity is enough. The key is for you to set the pace of the interaction. That's why choosing the place is important. It shows confidence, and confidence is attractive to women. As for love bombing, that depends on the woman. Some are very talkative, while others are more reserved. My advice is simple: be yourself. If you're an affectionate man, don't try to hide it, because sooner or later, it will show. Remember, go in with the mindset of, I'm going to have a good time on this date. If there's no chemistry, be honest. Tell her directly, I don't think we're connecting. Many women respect that, and if she's interested, she might tell you she feels uncomfortable about something but wants to give it another try. If not, you've freed yourself from someone you're not compatible with, and that's not a bad thing either. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, here are the questions for you. Do coffee dates ruin the connection? Or do they help avoid spending on someone who isn't worth it? Is it better to be with an attractive woman or one you feel comfortable with? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your support means the world to us and motivates us to create more content. Stay tuned for the next exciting video from the wall.